can you tell us what's going on and if what your involvement might be in the protests reported in Soweto this morning?
So let me just first say hi to everyone that's listening, including yourselves in studio. The biggest problem that we have and continue to have in Soweto is service delivery, and at the top of it is the electricity crisis. Now, a lot of communities are without electricity. We've got some that have 2 years without electricity, some a year, some half a year, and all these communities have come together to express their disgruntlement. And what we and how we play our part is, as the leaders of Soweto Parliament, we then went on the ground for the last few days to say, guys, we are not going to just be disgruntled and to start causing anarchy. We need to manage our disgruntlement. And how are we going to do it? We are not going to do a shutdown. We rather do a slowdown. Indeed, the community has accepted that we do a slowdown, because a slowdown doesn't say that people are not going to work, business is not going to function. People will still go to work. As we speak, all the communities that were closing the roads earlier on for this slowdown have since opened the roads. Deep Roof is good to go. The Ravaya is working, is operating. We're with the police the whole night since 2 a.m., making sure that we allow people to express their frustration, but in a managed way. And the only community that's left that's still closed is Pinville. So we're going to rush to Pinville now to address the community so that we are able to guarantee that Soweto is fully functioning and everything's back to normal.
I mean, ultimately, though, for many commuters who have no say in these things, who are just as frustrated as many of their residents are over the lack of service delivery, ultimately they're the ones who suffer the brunt of all of this, because no matter how much you try to manage something like this, when there is a blockade, people will be left stranded, the public transport won't be operating, and at the very least, people are going to be delayed.
No, that is true. I mean, that is true. No one can take that away. However, it's also important to also accept for all of us that even those who are going to work, they're leaving the township without electricity. They're leaving the kokos without electricity as they work in those call centers or whichever fancy jobs they have, where they're living in an unemployed. So a majority of young people unemployed in Soweto, and these unemployed people become security during the day for the kokos that they leave when they go to work. So it works hand in hand. We need to accept that as much as it's an inconvenience for one day, we must understand people go through these struggles. Like I said, communities don't have electricity for over 2 years now.
So whose attention are you seeking here?
The communities are seeking government's attention, media attention, for people to actually understand the struggles of Soweto. And I think once they've achieved that, they've cleared the roads, because they're not here and they're not doing what they're doing coming from a bad place.
What do you put the electricity crisis to? Is this part of the billing issues? Is this service delivery failures, cable theft, all of the rest?
It's everything. It's cable theft. It's Eskom infrastructure not serviced properly, and it's transformers exploding. It's Eskom technicians taking advantage of the system because they know it and breaking their own infrastructure just to replace some things that are happening outside the knowledge of Eskom. It's just too much chaos, and we all need to come together and make sure that we have a proper solution and a sustainable one at that.
And who's failing here? Who's failing in managing all of that? Is it the city of Johannesburg? I mean, when you say government is big, right? Is it national government on some level? Is it the city of Johannesburg? Do you want the mayor, for example, to come on and answer some of the questions and concerns being raised here?
So what we've done as local leadership is we've done exactly that. We said, guys, let's define the problem and make sure we go to whoever's causing the problem. And the part of and what we're doing tomorrow on the 21st is we're marching as the communities in Soweto to the mayor's office to say that you're the number one citizen, you're mayor. Here are the problems. What can you all do to have a sustainable solution? So there's a big march tomorrow that's going to the mayor's office so that we can address the problem where we're supposed to be addressing the problem instead of taking to the streets.
You said it's a slowdown. Eyewitness News was speaking to some residents who are saying they're just getting started. This thing is going to escalate.
So that's a disgruntlement of the people, but the leadership on the ground will ensure that it's well within the boundaries of the law and its audit, and we focus on the march for tomorrow, because the march is what we need for sustainable results. If we just take to the street as the people, that's just temporary and will never give us proper results. So we need proper solutions that are sustainable, and that's the message we're taking on the ground. As we speak, I'm on the ground, and I've got every other force that we work with on the ground, making sure that what I'm telling you happens.
you use the word forces, right? I mean, if this kind of thing does go out of hand, if people get hurt, God forbid, even killed, will you take any responsibility then as one of the leaders, one of the organizers on the ground, as you say?
Yeah, no, well, I didn't organize the march. I'm leading with the police on the ground to ensure that we don't have anarchy around what the communities are demonstrating. I'm not saying that I'm saying people must do this. I'm making sure that it doesn't go south. And when part of my responsibility is to ensure that I even introduce proper sustainable solutions to the communities as a leader of the community. So mine is just to make sure that we don't have problems.
Nhlanhla, thank you for your time.
And if we do have problems, what we need to all understand is that people need to start taking responsibility. ESCOM must start taking responsibility. We can't always wait and say that if there's a problem, who in the community must take responsibility. Our mayor must take responsibility. ESCOM must take responsibility.
Gotcha.
Et cetera.
Gotcha.
And by the way, I'm representing the community under Soweto Parliament, not under Operation Petula. Operation Petula has its own operations, and when I'm there, it's that. So I don't want to confuse the two.
All right, Nhlanhla Lux, at the least we'll call you a community activist and leader about that protest action in Soweto.
Current events, developing stories,
tough questions,
your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.